What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, and I'm just checking in on you. What's going on? How are ya? Now, today is July the 15th, and this is going to be your weekly vendor reset and must-buys. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. And finally, shout out where you're from. It's cool to see where everyone is from. Well, we're going to start off here in Washington, D.C. We will finish up in New York City. Our first vendor of the video is going to be the Base of Ops vendor. Here we go.
What can I do for you?
And starting off at the top, we have the Glory Days. This is the named P416 with perfect nearsighted, and this one with crit chance, but you could easily change that crit chance off for damage to targets out of cover, and you'd be good to go. Following down the weapons, we have a Banshee with accuracy and unwavering, a Black Market AKM. Ooh, this is a really good Black Market AKM. This one, damage to targets out of cover and Sadist. That's perfect for a bleed build, but you could easily just optimize those attributes, and then you'd be able to change that talent for whatever it is you want, and then that way you could change it from build to build. Pretty cool. And finally, for the weapons, we have a 586 Magnum with optimal range and breadbasket. Going to the gear items, we have a Providence backpack with crit damage status and overclock, and a Uzina Gattaca chest piece with explosive resistance status and Mad Bomber. Going to the mods, we have crit chance 4.5, drone armor repair 6.3, turret plus 1 extra mortar, and a sticky bomb duration of 6.3. Now, must-buys, things to look for from the Base of Ops vendor. I mean, the Black Market's okay. It's really not the best weapon in the world, and the Glory Days is okay as well. Perfect nearsighted. I mean, it is a laser beam, but still, that would be for, like, new and returning players. I typically would not recommend any of those. All right, moving on to the Countdown and Clan vendors while we're here at the Base of Ops. Let's run over here to the Countdown vendor. And here we are. The three... Oh, snap. Fox's Prayer Kneepads right now. Go to the Countdown vendor right now. Fox's Prayer Kneepads. I have them on my character as we speak with, crit damage instead of the hazard. So all you need to do is change that hazard off for whatever it is you want, and then optimize the weapon damage to max, and you're good to go. These are best in slot knee pads for any damage or, tank or damage tank hybrid builds, any of those, because of the damage to targets at a cover attribute. Remember, we forever have damage to targets at a cover as our bottom attribute on our weapons because it is the hardest hitting attribute for your weapons. So just like your weapons, you want it on your gear, and that's why I highly recommend picking up the Fox's Prayer knee pads. Now, the other two named items, we have the Relic. This is the named marksman rifle with perfect determined. This one's not bad. It does shoot, pretty quick, and it is fully auto now, so you could change that reload speed to damage to targets at a cover and be good to go. And finally, for the named items, we have a swap chain. This one is the named MP7 with perfect unwavering. And the bottom attribute for this weapon is armor damage. Not bad. If you want damage to targets out of cover, you could switch it there, but damage to armor isn't bad either. But all right, that is your Countdown vendor items. Now let's run over here to the Clan vendor. And speaking of clans, big shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom. We are on all platforms, PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. So if you are interested in joining the clan, it is a great community of people, and it's non-toxic. We have a lot of fun, help each other out. It's basically a family away from your family. We all spend a lot of time in this game, so you might as well spend it with some cool people. Now, if you're interested in joining the DoD, you can go to my Discord server, and there's different tabs in my Discord server to join the clan for whatever platform you're on. Just put your name on the list, and then whenever I have a few spots open, I'll send out a mass message and get people in. All right?
What do you need? I've got it.
And speaking of clans, here is your clan vendor.
Glad you're here.
Starting with the Calibre. So this is the named Shoddy with perfect jazz hands, and this one with maxed out damage to targets at a cover. Nice. Not bad at all. What I would do for this one is probably max out the shotgun and then optimize the armor damage, and then you're good to go. Going to the gear set items, we have an Aegis mask with explosive resistance, Negotiator's Dilemma, knee pads with health, and measured assembly mask with repair skills. Going down to the high-end items, starting with the weapons, we have a 586 Magnum with max optimal range and breadbasket. That's the exact... Isn't that the exact same Magnum from the other base of ops vendor? Anyways. A SOCOM MK16 with accuracy and nearsighted, a classic RPK with health damage and fast hands, and finally for the weapons, a MG5 with max swap speed and reformation. Now going to the high-end gear items, we have a Heliguard chest piece with armor regeneration, skill haste, and efficient. This is actually a really good chest piece if you don't have the everyday carrier. Remember the everyday carrier. Let me show you really quick. Booyah. So the everyday carrier, armor regeneration crit with perfectly efficient. This one right here, armor regeneration, you could make the skill haste crit, and then instead of perfect efficient, you would have just normal efficient. Not bad. I mean, it's a substitute, but only if you don't have the everyday carrier. Moving on, we have the Heliguard knee pads. I mean, these are good ones too. Change the skill haste off for armor regeneration, and you could do armor regeneration crit all day. And finally, for the gear items, we have a Richter and Kaiser chest piece with crit chance, weapon handling, and entrench. Going to the mods, we have crit chance 4.8, blind def resistance 9.0, turret duration 6.4, and turret +1 extra sniper. Now, must-buys, things to look for from the clan vendor. The Heliguard pieces aren't bad, but that's really about it. I mean, measured assembly already has the repair skills on it. That's not bad. The Calibre's okay, but reload speed's really not a big deal. With a Shoddy, you just want more damage just so you can one-tap enemies. It's really looking like kind of like a bust here at the clan vendor. All right. So we had the Fox's Prayer, but that's really about it for the base of ops. So now we are traveling west, and then we will double back east. Our first stop is going to be the campus settlement. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up. What are you waiting on? Support the channel by subscribing, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. And remember, I do daily Division content, so make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you don't miss a single Division upload.
I've got the
And here we are,
gear
campus.
at the lowest price.
Starting with the Rusty. This is the named RPK with perfect pressure point, and this one with optimal range. Following that, we have a Tactical 308 with crit chance and lucky shot, and a Stoner LAMG with armor damage and thunder strike. Going to the gear items. This is a really good Golden Gear mask. Change the explosive resistance off for armor regeneration, and you're good to go. Remember, the 2-piece Golden Gear gives you armor regeneration. You want armor regen with crit, and crit chance helps you use this with like LMGs, ARs, anything basically. This is a really good mask. Highly, highly recommend. And it has max armor with crit chance, and then you could put max armor regeneration on it just instantly. That's a good mask. Check it out. And finally, for the high-end items, we have a Douglas and Harding holster. This one, crit chance and armor regeneration. Going to the mods, we have skill duration 8.3, chem launcher and snare duration 7.9, hive range 4.0, pulse skill haste 4.8, and trap duration of 4.2. Now, must-buys, things to look for from the campus. The Golden Gear mask all day long. Pick this one up. You're going to enjoy it. That is it for the campus. Now let's go over to our Dark Zone vendors, starting with Dark Zone West. West! Let's go! And just a big reminder for these Dark Zone vendors, they only take DZ resources as currency. So go down to your keys, and just above your keys, you will see your Dark Zone resources. For example, here you can see I'm at 327 out of 999, and if I need any more Dark Zone resources, I have to go into the Dark Zone and either open up the little blue boxes, those will go straight into my inventory, or I have to pick up contaminated items, deconstruct them into Dark Zone resources, and then extract them to put them into my inventory. But those are the only two ways of getting Dark Zone resources, just so you know. And these vendors will only take DZ resources as currency. Speaking of which, here is DZ West.
Anything you're looking for?
Starting with the Death Grips, and these are PvP exclusive gloves. These gloves are named 511 gloves with armor on kill as an attribute, and it also comes with headshot, but you could easily change that to whatever it is you want. It doesn't matter, but these are PvP exclusive gloves. Sometimes you can get lucky and find them in named item caches, but typically just Dark Zone and Conflict. Following that, we have the Thorn. This is the named Spaz 12 with Perfect Brazen, and this one with Headshot, but you could change that Headshot to damage to targets out of cover. Good to go. And finally, a UIC 15 Mod 2 with Rate of Fire and Lucky Shot. Going to the gear items, we have Hotshot Gloves with Crit Damage, Umbra Kneepads with Headshot, Murakami Gloves with Status and Headshot, and finally, Heligard Kneepads that are perfect. Armor Regeneration and Crit Chance. Perfect. All day. Going to the mods, we have Incoming Repairs 16.6, Seeker Mind Damage 4.2, Shield Health 4.2, Firefly +1 max target, and Decoy Health of 6.0. Now, must-buys, things to look for from Dark Zone West. The Death Grips, good pickup. The Heligard Kneepads, also another great pickup. All right. Now let's take our talent south to the deep south. DZ South, let's go. Oh, boy, we going down south. Oh! Sorry. I don't know. Get a little carried away with that accent. I try, though. All right, here we go. DZ South, big money, no whammies. And starting with the Point Man. This is the named Heligard chest piece with Perfect Vanguard. And this one with Hazard and Headshot. Going to the weapons, we have a P90 with Stability and Preservation, a FAL with Swap Speed and Flatline, and finally a PX4 Storm Type F with Flatline and Crit Chance. Going to the gear items, we have a Rigger Backpack with Skill Damage, Ongoing Directive Chest Piece with Skill Haste, Providence Backpack with Skill Damage, Headshot, and Calculated, and finally Providence Chest Piece with Crit Damage, Weapon Handling, and Overwatch. Going to the mods, we have Crit Chance 4.6, Drone Duration 6.5, Turret Health 7.5, and Sticky Bomb Blast Radius of 5.0. Must-buys, things to look for from DZ South. To be honest with you, no, nothing. Nada. Net. Not a damn thing. So we're going to jump over to the Castle Settlement. Now, for the Castle Settlement, what I do is I go to the Descent entrance and run up the stairs. It is a little bit quicker.
Simulation program active.
And you can also run over here and pet the dog. Yo, what up, Ransom? What up? Oh, dude, with the cold shoulder again? With the cold shoulder again, bro. What, you just want me to walk with you? All right, we're walking. Sometimes you have to get to that dog quick, or the dog goes to the next location, which is fine. I mean, it's just up here, but still. Want to make sure that we pet the dog. It's always a tradition of mine, I think, with all the weekly vendor resets. And then whenever they added this new dog over here, I added that to the weekly vendor reset also. There we go. Pet the doggy. Aw, see you later, Ransom. Bark, bark. Brocka, brocka. All right, here we go. Castle Settlement, big money, no whammies. The Darkness. Starting with the Darkness, this is the named Marksman Rifle with Perfect Eyeless. And this one with damage to targets out of cover, so you're good to go. Following that, we have a Surplus SVD with Optimal Range and Spike. And finally, a Negev with Crit Damage and Overwhelm. Going to the gear items, we have a Richter and Kaiser Mask with Status and Weapon Handling. And a Douglas and Harding Holster with Crit Chance and Skill Haste. Going to the mods, we have Repair Skills 16.0, Chem Launcher and Snare Health 13.9, Hive Healing 4.5, Pulse Effect Duration 8.8, and Trap Duration of 5.9. Now, must-buys, things to look for from the Castle. The Darkness isn't bad. That's a good pickup, but that's really about it. Right then, let's jump over to DZ East. Now, DZ East is the only dark zone I do not go to the main entrance. I actually go to the Alpha checkpoint. Now, sometimes you'll hit a double loading screen there, but if not, just exit out the checkpoint like so, and you're at the vendor. If you go to the main entrance, you'll spawn way out there. All right, here we go. DZ East.
Hi.
And starting
Good
with
to see
the
you.
new Reliable. This is the named RPK with perfectly optimized, and this one with accuracy, but you could easily change that to armor damage and be good to go. Following that, we have a Surplus SVD. This one with
Access
damage to targets
complete.
at a cover and a breadbasket. So because it has damage to targets at a cover on it, you could easily change breadbasket for whatever it is you want, and you're good to go. And finally, for the weapons, we have the Big Show. Yo, you guys remember the wrestler, the Big Show? Like way back in the day, he was like the Giant, but then there was some sort of copyright with Andre the Giant and the Giant, so then they changed it from the Giant to the Big Show. You guys remember that? And then he changed it to just normal Big Show, and then he had like a Netflix TV show. Oh my gosh, I'm going down a rabbit hole here. Anyways, Big Show named LMG Perfect Thunder Strike. And this one with rate of fire, but you could easily change that to armor damage, and you're good. Finally, for the gear items, we have a Future Initiative mask with headshot, Refactor holster with explosive resistance, Fenris mask with crit damage, skill damage, and finally, China Light holster with hazard and crit. Going to the mods, we have skill duration 8.3, chem launcher duration 4.2, Hive +4 stem charges, Pulse skill haste 4.8, and trap duration of 6.0. Now, must buys, things to look for from DZ East. Not really. None of these are like really poking out saying like, hey, pick me up right meow. No, not really. All right.
Thanks.
Moving on to our last vendor of Washington, D.C., the theater. The theater! We are going to the theater. Speaking of theater, yo, who's going to go see Superman? Superman. Or have you already seen Superman? Ruh-roh. All right, here we go. Theater settlement.
Looking for something specific?
And starting with the Eagle's Grasp. These are the named zoo gloves with weapon handling as an attribute, but this one also comes with headshot. Not bad, it's okay. But the cool thing about this brand set is the one piece gives you magazine size, the two piece gives you rifle
Thanks for
damage,
business.
while that three piece gives you more weapon handling. So you could easily have like a laser beam of a rifle, especially if you want to use like the classic M1A, something like that, like a nail driver. This is a perfect pair of gloves for that. Moving on, we have the Thorn. Again, this is the named Shoddy with perfect brazen. This one with stability, but you could just change that to armor damage. Following that, we have a Police MK17 with max magazine size and preservation. Going to the gear items, nice. You can make these Walker Harris gloves double crit. Just change the health off for crit chance, and you're good to go. Double crit Walker gloves, not bad. And finally, for the gear items, we have a Providence pair of knee pads with status and repair skills. Going to the mods, we have Disrupt Resistance 8.4, Seeker Mine Damage 4.1, Shield Damage Bonus 4%, Firefly +1 max target, and Decoy Health of 6.0. Now, must buys, things to look for from the theater. The Eagle's Grasp isn't bad all day. You can make the Walker double crit if you wanted to, and the Thorn's not bad. It's okay. I think the other Thorn might have had higher attributes.
I appreciate
But all right. That is it for Washington, D.C. Now we are going to finish up with New York City. So the next two stops, you have to have the DLC and the expansion, just so you know. I'm going to go to Brooklyn first, and then we will finish up in Warlords of New York. So first stop, Brooklyn. We are going to go to the Bridge Settlement, and we'll check out the vendor there. And we will finish up at the Haven Settlement. Here we go. And also, let me know your thoughts about the new Payday event that just started today. Basically, if you are level 100 in the Seasonal Pass, they reset the Seasonal Pass levels. That way you can do 20 levels of the new Payday event.
Safe area.
So you're able to gain Season Pass XP again now, but this time, instead of it going to your Seasonal Pass reward track, it's going to go to your Payday event track. All right, here we go. Brooklyn vendor. Big money, big money. Starting with the G36, this one crit damage and future perfect. Then we have a SRS A1 with max damage to targets at a cover and spike, a USC 45 ACP with headshot and optimist, and finally a 586 Magnum with armor damage and flatline. Going to the gear items, we have a Habsburg Guard chest piece with skill haste, health, and spark, Golden Gear knee pads with skill damage, skill haste, and Badger Tough holster with armor regeneration and skill damage. Going to the mods, we have crit chance 4.6, disorient resistance 8.3, drone plus 2 extra bombs, chem launcher skill haste 5.9, and sticky bomb skill haste of 4.2. Now, must buys things to look for from the Brooklyn vendor. I mean, the Badger Tough. Okay, so first up, the SRS A1. It already has damage to targets at a cover on it, so just change Spike to Determined, and that's a perfect sniper right there. Put it with a Headhunter build, good to go. Following that, the Badger Tough holster is actually not bad. You could change the skill damage off for like Hazard and go Hazard Region. You could change it to Crit, go Region Crit, or Headshot, go Region Headshot. But either way, you spin it. It's still a good holster, especially for those tanky shotgun builds. But all right, that is it for Brooklyn. Now, why would it just pull that up for my, that was weird, for my directive. All right, now let's jump over to the Haven settlement, and then we'll get you out of here. So we only have 2 vendors remaining. So at the Haven settlement, we have Marco at the top of the escalator, and then we have Roy Benitez just outside. And if you haven't yet, support the channel. Like the video, subscribe, you know the whole spiel.
Safe area detected.
And here we go. Marco, big money, no whammies.
Hey,
starting with the Black Market T821, this one with headshot and spike. Then we have a Relic. This is the named marksman rifle with perfect determined, and this one with max swap speed. Following that, we have a military MK17 with magazine size and lucky shot, and finally a M1911 with crit damage and spike. Going to the gear items, we have a Golden Gear chest piece. This is actually a really good chest piece. Change the explosive resistance off for armor regeneration. You could go double crit, you could go status, you could go headshot. Basically just anything other than the explosive resistance. But this is a good chest piece. What I would do is put it with armor regeneration, and then you could go armor regeneration crit with unbreakable. That could be a deadly combo. Not bad. Not bad at all. Pretty good pickup. Following that, we have a Douglas and Harding pair of knee pads with repair skills and hazard. And finally, Grupo mask with weapon handling and skill damage. Going to the mods, we have pulse resistance 8.6, headshot 7.1, secret mine damage 4.2, chem launcher radius 6.0, and sticky bomb blast radius of 4.9. Now, must buy things to look for from Marco here at the Haven. The Golden Gear chest piece. This is a really good chest piece. Just change the explosive resistance off. Good to go. And finally, Roy Benitez. But wait, before we go, make sure you pet the dog, all right? Interact with the dog twice. The first one, you're just petting the dog all wimmily-nimmily, but that second one, that second one's random. He could roll over, he could bark at you, he could try to shake your hand, he could do all sorts of stuff. So let's see. What does he do this week? Oh, he's trying to shake me. Oh. Let's go. All right. Roy Benitez.
How can I help?
Starting with the TKB408, this one with stability and perpetuation. Then we have a surplus SVD with armor damage and precision strike, a USC with swap speed and boomerang, and finally a M45A1 with close and personal and rate of fire. Going to the gear items, we have a Palisade backpack with status, explosive resistance, and bloodsucker. Zoo knee pads with crit chance and headshot. You could easily make that double crit, but the crit headshot's really good. Interesting. Now, the problem I have with these knee pads is, would you use these besides the Fox's Prayer? I mean, these are nice knee pads, but again, for like a rifle build or damage or anything like that, wouldn't you rather just have the Fox's Prayer? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. And finally, we have the Electric holster. This one with repair skills and armor regeneration. Going to the mods, we have crit chance 4.4, shock resistance 8.5, drone deflect duration 6.4, firefly +1 max target, and decoy health of 6.0. Now, must buys things to look for from Roy Benitez. I would probably go with the zoo gloves. And that's probably about it. All right.
Glad we could help each other out.
And that will conclude your weekly vendor reset and must buys for today, July the 15th. I'm Kamikazevondoom. If you found this helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, hit the thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing and let me know what you think in the comment section below. And finally, shout out where you're from. It's cool to see where everyone's from. But again, I'm Kamikazevondoom. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the new event. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.